It was an interesting moment for me at the time because I really wasn't seeking someone or anyone, I should say. I just hoped if I did meet someone that they would be a positive person to meet. Everything he was saying and doing was making me fall in love with him.
A lot of people quit going, that's just how it got to be. But she keeps on fighting and it takes a lot of guts. No justice, no peace!
You two are like two immature cartoon characters.
Objection. Where's any of this evidence of this?
Order.
I'm sanctioning you for $15,000.
I have a right to see my son.
This is all about a child. A poor boy born into a battle.
This is not justice! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice!
You're trying to have a judge removed.
I'll sanction her for thousands of dollars for coming to court.
How much money is Mr. K-Man, Mr. Gee paying you and your fellow judges to keep this woman away from her child?
I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I'm gonna survive, gotta survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I gotta survive. Even with your lies, I gotta survive, gonna survive. Said I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna survive. Even with your lies.
This is the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show. Dr. Meleeka Clary is a clinical psychologist, actress, director, model, and human rights activist. On this program, Dr. Meleeka guides you toward a more fulfilling life through the power of positive psychology. And now, please welcome your host, Dr. Meleeka Clary.
Welcome to the Dr. Meleeka Clary Show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Welcome, everyone. I'm so grateful God got me up this morning to do the show, so I have to be grateful. Thank you, God. And to be able to sadly tell my children, thank you, Jesus. Whew, I have to say amen. You know what? It's always a pleasure to be able to do something that you love. And this is the one I love too, on the mini of the building or the top of the list, I should say. You know, it's been a rocky week, you guys. We got a lot of snow and all this stuff that, I hope everyone was safe, and I hope it wasn't too bad for everyone. We got out and we did what we had to do. I think me and my oldest daughter, we was renegading, so I'm glad that Mother Nature didn't really hammer us over here. But I know other places got to be safe out there, people, because it's slippery slide and ice and all that stuff. So hopefully that, we can be safe out there, because that's what we need to be, safe. So, it's just so challenging every day. We don't know what we're going through, and, things happen, and, we all have to live life and do things and go here and do that and do this. We have our responsibilities. And I tell you, and I just want everyone to know that I know that someone is going through something. And I would love for you guys to just think, or try to think positive, that it will change, it will get better. Because even myself, and I always got to use myself as an example, it's always challenging to do things, even for yourself. So remember, even if you're caring for someone or anything like that, self-care is so important. And I have to remember about self-care myself, you guys. Because, I've taken the role to take care of my mom. But that's beside the point. I also have to take care of me. And I'm used to taking care of people because I have children. So it's not a hard job. But I remember even when I was raising my children, I needed to take care of myself so I can take care of them. So that's important. So I want people to realize that. So remember, when things seem discombobulating and you're going through the midst of the storm, take a break and try to take some self-care for yourself. I don't care if it's read a book or, go in the tub and decompose and relax, or do something that will bring you back to that normalcy, because it's so important, because you can't help nobody and do nothing for anyone if you don't fill up that cup. You got to fill up the cup. I know some people be running on half full. Some people need that full cup. So remember, if you're getting down to that level, you need to remember that you need to do something to fill yourself up. Okay? So remember that. I want to say thank you to all my fans for watching the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. And I'm also going to tell you that, if you are on social medias and everything like that, please continue to share. Thank you so much for all that, and Google me. And I just appreciate all you. So thank you so much. And remember to see the movie Still 3/4 Deceptions on Prime Video. Okay. I'm going to tell you this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. I have an amazing guest today. Oh, he is amazing. He's been on my show before. But you know what? What we're going to do, before I bring him on, we're going to take a brief commercial, and we'll be right back with the Dr. Meleeka Clary show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Be right back, fam. Don't go nowhere. Now, I always tell people communication is so important. If you are feeling a certain way, what's the best way? Accept it and talk about it. How do you feel about this situation? Talk about it. That's the best advice, is talk about how you're feeling about the situation. Whatever is bothering you, whatever's you're carrying that weight, talk about it. Because if you release it, you'll feel much better. You might think that, you're going to be judged. If you feel that someone else is in your family is keep on letting you know all the problems that have happened and they won't let it go, let them know so then you can let it go. Explain how you feel, that I'm letting that go. There was nothing I could have done. And if I did do something, well, mistakes happen. We all make mistakes. And that's what. Welcome back to the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. We are still with amazing Hulkthecomedian. Come on. I swear I want to be like this. Oh,
yeah.
I know. At first I was about to say Popeye the Sailor Man, but I meant Hulk.
Yeah, right, right.
One of the two. Strong. That's what it means. So, you know what? Before we went on break, we was talking about in depth about what it takes to be a comedian. But you said something that was very interesting to me, the investment part. You said that you actually do your own flights and stuff like that. Now, is that the beginning of the game that you do this, or like once you get your name out there, they want you, they pay for everything? Because some people might think that, hey, I'm a comedian now, I'm this and that, so you got to pay for everything. What's the perks and what's the downfall? Because I always believe that you got to invest in yourself first, then that will come later. But how does that work?
I mean, it just really, well, in the beginning, you definitely paying for everything for yourself, and you're gonna be in the hole for quite a while. When I say in the hole, I mean you gonna, if you're traveling from state to state and you buying hotel rooms, you're not gonna get paid what you think you're getting paid. So you're gonna lose about $300-$400 every show that you do. Unless you could just save money on like staying with a friend, or you got family that stay close by there or whatever. But you still, you're still gonna be in the hole because you're not making the money to cover your flight and all the other stuff. But it really gonna depend on the contract and who you with. You got some headliners who will make sure that their openers, hey, look, I need to make sure that their hotel is at least paid for. They can get their flight. I just need to make sure their hotel is paid for. And you got some headliners that say, hey, you're going to get your hotel and you're going to get your flight, because I don't want to get involved with the money aspect, because that's where misunderstandings and stuff like that come in. So if this is something that you want to do, I love you, but we're going to keep this separate because I don't want to clash on anything far as, with this money or flights and hotels and stuff like that. So like my first year, I mean, I probably lost about $8,000 at least 8,000, but it was worth it because I mean, if you want, I mean, I was willing to invest in myself. And then you got to learn a lot of stuff to go along with it, like how to make money. Like my first year, I wasn't selling t-shirts. I wasn't selling, I wasn't doing certain things to try to at least come up with extra money. But if you also have a group of people when you're selling t-shirts, you got to compete with the host, you got to compete with the other feature, and you got to compete with the headliner. So most people, depending on who the headliner is, and the headliner is out there, they going straight to the headliner. They might go to the features and say, "Hey, you did a good job, man. I loved you." And you have some people that say, "Well, I'm gonna support you too," but the headliner, because that's who you see on the flyer. You don't see the other people unless you just been with them for years. Kind of like me and Eddie. Everybody know when they see Eddie, okay, they know Hulk is coming. They know Hulk somewhere close by. So I mean, you really got to invest in yourself a lot, and you got to have everything. And you know, like with me, like I don't have a family, I don't have kids, so I can take a $300 loss, a $400 loss. Um, when I first started out, and most people, you know, they still got to work regular jobs until everything starts popping off, until you get the money. You got your job has to let you off. Um, and some jobs they'll say, well, we'll let you off maybe this weekend, but these next 2 weekends we need you here. And the headliner who's making the good money, they might turn around and say, hey, look, I need somebody that can be with me full time. And it's like, dang, I want to be with you full time, but if the money was right, I can be with you full time. So I just figured out a way that worked for me. That was best to get me started off until I started making the money, and then I can be like, okay. Then when my pay started going up and I started doing bigger venues, theaters, and stuff like that, then I knew how to kind of like network around the. Okay, well, I lost 400 here, but I can sell $1,000 worth of t-shirts, so I make 600 extra dollars, or I'll sell t-shirts and say, hey, if you guys want to tip, you can tip. Like I was just doing like a lot of stuff, tipping, and any kind of way that you can kind of make some extra money, but you're not gonna make a bunch of money at all. You're gonna lose a lot. So it's like, and like I said, some people, it takes them 10, 12 years to really start making decent money.
You have to stay with the craft. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said some interesting things, and everything you're saying is very interesting. Some things I didn't know, something that I think that other people will value, because you, like I said, you got young people out there. Hey, I could do this, but is it something, being a comedian? Is it something like you can learn acting and be good at acting?
No.
Isn't it a line between? Yeah, that's so. What did you realize that the difference here?
I can't stand when I see comedian classes. I hate it so bad because it's like you can't teach nobody to be funny. You can't. This is something that most comedians have a dark past, or they was just a class clown in school, and this is something that they've been doing. This is nothing new. Their family ain't surprised what they doing. They like, yo, well, he's been doing this since he was 5, 6 years old. That boy is just a clown. Like, it don't surprise me. Like, that's what my family would say about me. You can't really teach nobody to be funny. You can teach people to act, to kind of get in the character, but you can't teach funny, because you have to be very careful what you talk about and what you say. There's a lot of things that you can stay away from and not, rub people the wrong way. And there's a lot of things that you can say certain things and you'll get the crowd, all rumbled up. And now it don't matter what you say. Nothing's going to be funny because now they don't like you. So, I mean, you can't teach people to be funny. Like, just like I tell people all the time, when you look at me, you don't see funny. There's nothing about me that looks funny at all. Like, so that's why I kind of like have to go the extra mile, because I don't look funny. I look like I'm about to go.
It's like I look like
like
this
a
is what I
criminal.
look
Like,
like.
I look fresh out. I look like I'm fresh out of the penitentiary, So it's like, and I also tell a lot of people, they think that it's all about just being funny, and it's like, no, what makes you different? That's another thing. Most comedians are big or skinny. Most comedians are big or skinny. You don't have comedians that are out there that are tattoos all on their face, big, or No, but it makes people want to, okay, well, let me check this brother out because there's no way he's funny.
Mhm.
But I do believe that everybody do deserve a shot, but it's like you got to be careful because you stand in front of them people and they get mad and start booing you, and it makes it online. Your career is your career is shot.
Is it that easy to in the comedian world, entertainment industry, that if you do get a boo, and is it really over? Or because
Nah,
have
it's
you
not really
ever
over.
got that or received that you felt like, okay, I'm done?
Nah,
Because wouldn't that kind of be like, it's like going on the Apollo and
yeah.
people, boo you, and you're like,
I mean,
and then
it honestly depends where you at. I mean, but it's not that doesn't mean that your career is over, or that you're going to get blackballed or whatever the case is. But you're gonna get clowned on it though if it makes it out to a bunch of people because that's what people gonna remember you by until
yeah.
you kind of build yourself back up. But everybody's had an off night and they call it bombing. I've bombed before. I've never been booed, but I've bombed before where I said some things and I just knew I was gonna get that laugh and people was like,
Really? And you see, do you? You know what? It's interesting you say that, because most times when I speak to people and they're entertaining, they're not really always looking at the audience. So you really actually watching the audience.
I look at everybody. I talk to people directly. I don't. I mean, but that was like in my like very like first couple months because I got kind of thrown in the industry quick. Like I was doing, like I said before, I was doing comedy 5 months before I went on tour. So I really had a lot to learn. I didn't know everything. I just knew how to make people laugh. I wasn't structured. I didn't know nothing about how to put together my set to make it to one long, one story. I didn't know how to set certain jokes up and then hit them with the punchline. I was just saying because it was funny. But then once I started to get structured and say, hell, well, let me tell this story, but let me paint it this way, or let me paint it this way. Then I started to learn like certain things. So I mean, you're gonna learn certain stuff along the way, and you're gonna keep learning. Um, but yeah, you don't want to have too many bombs, and you don't want to have too many boos. I mean, some of the greats get booed. I mean, Dave Chappelle has gotten booed in big arenas, So
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to happen, but you just got to be prepared for it, and you got to be mentally set for that because I've seen people get booed and they went to go find them a regular job. They went to Amazon. They said, I ain't going. And
I ain't doing
yeah, they said, nah. I mean, it is bad though. I seen it. I was like, I just pray I never have that moment because I would probably have to take a little break for like a month at least.
I think it's therapeutic if you
Yeah,
talk
it's
about it and
worse.
crack on it, and
Yeah,
bring it to the audience that this what happened. You believe they booed me? Like
yeah,
bringing it out
yeah,
there so you can just face it.
yeah. You
You
got
know
to
what I
face it.
mean?
You
You
got to
gotta
face
face it, not run away, but facing the shame and deal with it and tell the people. Because I think
and
it's therapeutic to
because
tell the
one
people.
because one thing about it, the comedians on that show, they not about to give you a break at all. As soon as you come off the stage, they
They
clowning, they
got you.
laughing. Oh yeah, it's bad. You better stage left and go out the back door. Don't come back there in that green room because they gonna let you have it. Like, but I
Oh
mean,
my.
but it's a good thing though, because a lot of comedians are big headed. A lot of people think that they're just funnier than what they are, and they're just not humble. So some people do need to get humbled, and some people they just had an off night. They might be going through something. Um, like one of my nights, which I thought was going to be my worst night ever, I just didn't know was in Baltimore at the Baltimore Comedy Factory, where my wife ended up having a miscarriage, like literally right before the show, like 5 minutes before the show, and she was like, "No, go up there and do it," and I was just like, "What am I gonna say?" Like, I can't even think about even being funny. And I went out there, and that was probably like the best show of that weekend. Cause I kind of because I had to tune it out. There's a show that
Yeah.
still got to go on, so I had to tune. I had to just say, hey, I'm not thinking about this right now. And I went out there and I killed the show, and everybody stood up and they clapped. And as soon as I walked backstage, I just started crying. Everybody like, oh god, I'm just like, but you gotta be able to tune stuff like that out. You can't just say, oh well, um, my father just got hit by a truck. You still got to go out there and do your show. I mean, yeah, we feel sad for you, but there's a show that still needs to go on, and you still and you under contract. So now it's like we feel bad for you, but hey, you still need to go out there and and not only comedians, football players have to do it, basketball players have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, actors have to do it. It's a lot of stuff that happens. So I don't think that a lot of people don't be ready or be thinking about that type of stuff. Like I'm funny. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh my
Like,
goodness. You
like
know,
even in your relationship, even in your relationship, you and your wife or you and your boyfriend are probably just broke up, and you still got to go out there and be funny.
those
Cause
are so challenging. That
yeah,
you mentioned so many points, and I think you elaborate that the first time when we interviewed about the challenges of that. I remember you saying some things like that. I know our time is always short. I get into. I think we warm up to the middle, right?
right.
That's what happened. We warm up,
Right.
But let me ask you before we do go to who is your biggest mentor that you feel like you've learned about what you're doing, your craft, and you admire them? Because some people have the greats of they admire different comedians, and sometimes when you see they use different materials from those people, it's because they admire them. So it's not. So, do you have any of those admirers?
Yeah, Arnez J, of course, Eddie, Bernie Mac, and Richard Pryor. Those are that's like my holy grail right there. And the
Yeah.
reason and the reason why I say Richard Pryor, I've always watched like all his movies, like even the old movies, like Which Way Is Up and stuff like that. Which I thought was like the most hilarious movie. Arnez J, he dances, he's very animated in his material,
Mhm.
and I'm just like that. Bernie Mac, he's real raw. He's a little edgy. I'm just like that. With Eddie, the crazy thing about Eddie, when I talk about Eddie, is I never watched Eddie stand up.
Mhm.
I've never, even to this day, I've never seen Eddie stand up. I've seen clips that be online and stuff like that, but I was more drawn to Eddie as an actor. I used to imitate him like in like Double Take and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm more geared towards him from, like the comedic actor side of him. And never would I thought I'd be with him and touring with him, but he gives me more game than anybody.
That's wonderful.
Anybody. And Arnez J, me and his son became real good friends. And it's just crazy how stuff works out. Like,
Wow, that's
but
amazing. It's interesting you said Eddie Griffin because I've never seen him until I seen you guys.
right.
I've seen a lot of comedians and I've never seen him, and I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, he's really really funny. I
Yeah.
mean, I always thought he was funny, but I see him on sitcoms, with
Mhm.
Jamal and Eddie or Jamal.
Right.
And that's where I seen him before. So it wasn't like, I went to the comedian shows and, comedy shows, I would say.
Mhm.
But it was amazing to see you guys work together. And it was great. It was a great show. You guys did wonderful, and I think he's a great mentor for you because he's not
Right.
just the comedian, but he's also political in a
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So he gets down with that. So
Definitely gotta
maybe
wear a
I was on
seatbelt.
the grid with that. Huh?
Yeah. I said you definitely gotta wear a seatbelt,
You do. He takes you on a ride. I will
but
say that. And
but
so
one thing I like about Eddie though, he's never he's never told me what I can and can't say. He's never told me how to dress. He's never told me, hey man, I don't like that joke. He'll say, I like that, but try this right here, add this right here into it. He's he's always made sure that I was good. He never leaves a show unless he knows for a fact that I'm good. It's just certain things that he do that I see a lot of headliners, a lot of people that they don't even do for their own crew, for people who's there on time, do what they supposed to do. Um, we have a good time. So but he's definitely I told him he said one thing to me one time. It's like probably something I'll probably never forget. He was talking to somebody, had nothing, I was not part of this conversation. I was just sitting there. And he looked over at me while he was talking to the other guy, and he said, to me, I'm Eddie Griffin. I'm a galaxy. He said, he's a star in my galaxy. I was like, dang. And that's something that I'm probably gonna make a t-shirt out of it.
That's
but,
wonderful. That is so
you don't.
wonderful.
Yeah.
He
But
sounds like an amazing guy. And I ended up meeting him too. So
yeah.
he is generally
Yeah.
nice, you know, and
And
you
he's
as
real.
well.
He's real.
He is real.
He's not
He is real.
he's not
He
the
don't pull no punches, because I sure
yeah.
asked him. I said, you could do a show. I don't do shows. I don't do
Yeah.
interviews. I said, okay.
Yeah, he's real. He's
I
not
respect that. You gotta respect that. But he's very real. And you know, I'm glad you guys you work well together, you know, and so I think that's a wonderful thing when you work well with someone and you can, you know, develop a craft and keep on doing that. You guys are really good together, you know.
Yeah, just like you said before when you asked me the question about the 2-mans and 3 and 4-mans. Now that you have seen our show, can you see anybody else added to our show?
No, I think you guys do well together.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I tell people, like,
I'm telling you, I had a great time, and I think it was. You know what? I'm telling you, couldn't be no funnier. You guys are like awesome, and it was just real. Anyway, like everything was good. You guys do great together. Great,
and it's different. And it's different. We don't talk about nothing of the same thing. It's totally different. Yeah.
You guys, you both have your different skids. I will say that. You really do. So, you know, but it was wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing. I know people have seen you on the show before. You can mention your social medias before we go, because we're going to wrap it up. It's just so a short time with you. It's just a wonderful time to be with you. I'm so glad that you was a guest on the show again. You're amazing. You're really amazing. What is your social media so people can follow you?
Hulk the Comedian, HULKTHE with a comedian with the underscore at the end, and it's the same on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Probably not TikTok for too much longer because everybody's getting rid of TikTok now because of they're taking people's content and doing what they want to do with it. You're not making no money really off of it anymore, so I probably won't be on TikTok too much longer.
Oh wow.
But that's it. And I will be in Canada. I'll be in Canada this weekend.
All right, Canada. And you can Google him too. So if you missed all that, you can Google. You know what? Hulk the Comedian. You are so wonderful. Thank you again for being a guest on the Dr. Meleeka Clary show.
Most definitely.
My dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. You know, it is always a pleasure. You know, I love all my guests. They bring some shine to the light of the Dr. Meleeka Clary show. I am going to say to you guys, please get something out of it, because if you're looking into being a comedian, you just heard it, you know. He had told you the ins and the outs and how it works and how it operates. And, you know, it is worth it, but have thick skin too. Be able to take a joke on yourself as well, just in case it, you know, don't go that great at the beginning. Okay. But it's lovely to hear it, because it's, you know, any, you know, career that you want to invest in, it takes time. So people, think about it. And you youngsters out there, pay attention. If you're funny now, go on and challenge yourself to be a Mr. Funny Girl or Funny Guy. But you just heard it on Dr. Meleeka Clary show. This is me sharing and caring. And like I said, I bring guests on here because they share and they care. So that's how we do it, people. I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day and stay warm. Okay, stay warm and enjoy the weekend to come. And if no one said I love you, I love you. I care about you, and I want you to do better for yourself. And just stay in it one more day. People will get better. I promise. You will be a little better. Trust me. Just stay in there. I'm with you. You're not alone. You're not alone. Okay? I love you, and thank you again for tuning in to the Dr. Meleeka Clary show, powered by Sweet Recordings. Take care. God bless. Mwah.